Hello, welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I am your host today, and I see Ben in the chat room. Hey, Ben. And I see a Rolling Stone. Hi, a Rolling Stone. Hi, Henny. Hi, Christy. Hi, CK. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
Getting there.
Yeah, good. I'm in my slumpy old t-shirt. So I found out Michael's coming home. He'll be leaving Texas on Thursday. So I've been running around trying to get everything clean. And plus I was having hot flashes because, women of a certain age, we have that happen. So I was like, I just, and then I realized what time it was. I was like, you know what? I'm just going on in my t-shirt and it is what it is.
You know what? I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm on my couch, so be it. And I just threw something on over my turtleneck, my old turtleneck that I wear forever and ever. Hi, Henny.
Yes, Zelda, hello.
Hi, Zelda. Long time no see. Welcome. Good to see you.
Yes. Um. Oh, Rolling Stone. Your name is Sue.
Yeah.
Nice to officially meet you, Sue. Zelda at work waiting for a big snowstorm. Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's coming home too. Oh, look at you. Hot mama. Look at there.
Thank you. Had coffee with a friend today, so I decided makeup was a thing. I've changed because it's freaking cold.
Yeah. I dressed for warmth today. We've got storms coming in, rain, snow, who knows what.
How are you guys doing?
Good. It looks like it's, how the sky looks when it's just about to snow? That's how it looks outside and it's cold, but it's like 45 degrees and we're only supposed to get rain. And I
Okay.
hate that's kind of being teased. It's like just snow or look like fall. Like I don't
Yeah.
care. Don't do this in between like, oh, I'm gonna wait, no, I'm not. Oh, I'm gonna, I hate that. It's like choose.
Oh my god. Yes, I understand. I understand. And thank you everybody for the compliments.
Yeah.
And good to see you.
Hello.
We like lurkers too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Oh,
that you're not feeling well. Hopefully,
Yeah, I hope you get
hopefully
feeling
you feel
better.
better. You know, yeah.
and Ben
So
changed his name again.
I know. I've seen that. I've seen that. Um,
So Sue, is there anything that we can do that might help you out with some of that going on? Maybe just being here and being in company and not by yourself to spin.
yeah.
We have a nor'easter coming in up to 12 inches of snow. Been running around all day getting ready and also bought a professional grade microphone. Nice. Oh yeah, you're doing your channel. How's that
Yes.
coming along? Another beauty in the group. You have gotten a lot of compliments. I don't know if you can see all that, Plant Freak.
I'm seeing it all. And it's thank you, everybody. I'm trying to do the not explaining thing and accepting compliments.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Sue, a Rolling Stone, has wondered if we could do a meditation. I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah. You want to start off with one?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can do that. I can do that. All right. Let me.
Shake it
Okay.
off.
I feel like Taylor Swift, shake it up, shake it
That's
up. My
exactly.
girls just listen to that song all the time, and I'm like, ah. Yeah, we can go ahead and start with a little meditation. Um, let's go ahead and do some box breathing. Let's do four of our box breathing, and then we'll go into a quick little meditation to kind of open everything up and ground the energy. And so as we do the meditation, as we do the box breathing, we breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale until all of the air is out of your lungs, letting your shoulders drop. As you breathe the air in, say something positive to yourself, whether it's I'm grounded, I'm calm, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, I deserve love, whatever that is. And as you exhale, exhale something that is not beneficial to you. And maybe it's just, this chaotic energy that's inside of me right now. You got to go away. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we can still do a meditation at the end too, if you guys are up for it. So however you guys want to do it, I'm fine. So go ahead and close your eyes and shake out your energy, loosen up a little bit. Go ahead and close your eyes, drop into your heart space, whether that's putting your hand on your heart or envisioning a little version of yourself going into your heart center and sitting in the space of love that you have for yourself and that you experience through others giving to you. We're going to go ahead and do 4 box breathings. Let's go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Again, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Make sure to let your shoulders drop. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. And last one, breathe in, hold, and exhale. I want you to imagine that you are sitting outside underneath a tree. It can be your favorite, whether that's winter, spring, fall, or summer. And you are sitting there on the grass under this tree, enjoying the day. We're going to take a moment to ground our energy, to open our intuition and our minds, and prepare ourselves for this meeting today. I want you to imagine, as you're sitting on the ground, that roots are growing out from every part of your body that is touching the ground, down into the earth. And as you sit under this tree in your favorite time of year, I want you to start at the top of your head. And I want you to imagine all of the chaotic energy, negative thoughts, things that are not beneficial, being pushed down, clearing as we go, down to your eyes, down to your throat, down to your heart space, down your shoulders, to your elbows, to your belly button, down to your waist, down to your knees, down to your ankles, down to your feet. And all of this negative energy, this chaotic energy, this ungrounded energy, goes deep into the earth, down through the roots, into the cool earth. And I want you to imagine the joy that you feel from sitting under this tree in your favorite time of year, and allow that to soak in. Soaks in through the bottom of your feet, to your ankles, to your knees, to your waist, your fingertips, to your elbows, your belly button, to your shoulders, into your heart, through your throat, to your eyes, and out the top of your head. And that energy makes a beautiful bubble that surrounds your entire body in protection and love and grounded energy and happiness. And with this new grounded energy, you open your eyes, prepared to have a beautiful meeting with us here today. When you're ready, open your eyes.
Hi, Anik.
Hey, Anik.
You feel better, Sue? I hope so. And if not, maybe you will by the time this meeting's
Yeah.
to be.
And if there's anything that you specifically need to talk about, maybe let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Anik, glad you're here.
You know, oh, go ahead.
Oh, Battlefield coffee.
Love it.
Yeah, that's my coffee place up the road that I go to. It's locally owned. So I always go to local places when I can. And they're just amazing up there. And so yeah, that's what it is. And it's called Battlefield because there was a very big battle that was actually really important in the Civil War that took place about 7 miles from my house. So that's why they called it Battlefield. So,
Oh, that's really cool.
yeah. So it was actually, it's not a well-known battle. It's not like Gettysburg or anything, but what it was it's called the Battle of Fishing Creek or Mill Springs, and it was really important because of where it was located on the Cumberland River, and the South was coming up trying to take Kentucky, but the North wanted to keep Kentucky. So it was militarily like a very strategic place. So it was really important for President Lincoln to not have the Confederacy win this area, because what it would have done is pushed the battle actually up further north than it had been. And so it ended up that the Confederates did not win. The Union triumphed, and the Confederates lit out, and so it became a Union. I mean, Kentucky was neutral about a lot of things, but it wasn't Confederate held, which was most important. So
Yes. Pretty cool.
That it even had to be,
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories around here. There's so much.
Hi,
Well, you guys
Debbie's
know
here. Hi,
with
Seven Fun. Hi,
oh,
one with
hello,
Shell. Hey, guys.
nice to see you. Oh, Shell, I see you. Um, yeah, there's just kind of a lot of energy on this land around here, as there is, anywhere.
We've got a battlefield park 30 minutes from here, about, or maybe more than that, but anyway.
Yeah, I have to be careful when we walk around places like that.
I wondered how y'all would feel about another Timothy Ward sobriety video.
Was that the gentleman who was walking around in the snow that was giving? Yes, I would love that.
And he's on the beach today, so I mean, how great is that?
Yes.
Let's get some beach energy going, y'all.
Yeah, the only places in Canada that I can think of that would have energy like that is like native reserves. And I've lived close to a few native reserves, and I have a native friend. So it's very interesting to hear these stories to me.
Yeah. It's interesting to have that energy too. Look
Yeah.
at that ocean and the beach. Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Right?
It is.
I love it. It makes me miss the ocean so much. I seen in my memories that
I miss it terribly. I'm thinking it looks like the Atlantic. It could be the Gulf, but it looks like the Atlantic.
it
It's got
looks
that blue like the Atlantic has.
yeah. Well,
I feel like.
popped up in my memories today. It was 7 years ago. We were living in Cali, and I was like, oh, it was pictures of us in like outside of San Francisco and the Bay and everything. I was like, I kind of. I mean, there's things about Cali that I miss. The ocean was one of them. I miss.
Same here. Yeah, I was in San Diego by the time I
Yeah.
was there 16 years and gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like this. This guy just has such sage wisdom.
He does.
And knows how to drive a point home and make it stick, So yeah, here we go.
What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim back with another video. out taking a walk on the beach here, but I wanted to turn the camera on, do a little walk and talk, and I wanted to do a sobriety video. It has been a while since I talked about sobriety, but I've been getting a lot of good comments and responses and feedback from the videos I did in the past. So I wanted to do a new one because this is a topic I feel very strongly about. And today I wanted to talk about the fact that sobriety is very hard, but it's not impossible. Okay? One of the things I can remember in my struggle to finally get sober for any length of time was that there were some times where it just felt impossible. You know, I'd stop drinking for a couple days, then I'd drink again. You know, I'd stop drinking for a week, then I would drink again. You know, and it was just this endless cycle. It's when it felt possible. It's like I can stop for a little bit, but as far as stopping drinking forever, as far as that goes, I just don't know if I got that in me. You know, I wanted that. I hungered for that. Especially, you know, when I woke up hungover after a crazy night of drinking and I blacked out or almost got in a fight, you know, laying in bed that whole Saturday morning. All I wanted was for this to be behind me. I wanted it to
You know, I almost envy the people that got to that point because I was just raring to keep going. I just wanted to keep going. There was no wanting to stop in any way, shape, or form. I had no desire. None. Life is funny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
want it to be over. But as hard as I tried, I couldn't seem to make that happen. And that was why a lot of times I would just kind of give up. At least when I'm drinking, I don't have all the guilt and, you know, I'm just not like setting myself failure 3-4 times a month. At least when drinking, I just drink, I have fun, I deal with the consequences. I just didn't think it was possible for me to quit drinking. But here's something I've realized on the other side of the equation. Now that it's been 5+ years since I've had a drink, I realized, and this isn't here during that time, but I realized that, like, get sober when it's your time to get sober. I believe this. But I feel like all the time in between when you first say, I'm going to stop drinking, you finally do get sober, I think all that is like work that has to be done so we can finally get to the place where it's possible. So it might have been impossible for me in the beginning stages. Those times when it felt impossible, it might have been impossible at that time. But I had to put in that work, all those little 2-3 days, all those little weeks, the months of sobriety that, you know, I relapsed.
You know, I got convinced in the rooms of AA that, you know, my life sounded a lot like a lot of alcoholics in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what I was going to say about that, but
He was
it
talking
was
about
daunting. Yeah, it was daunting, just the thought of never picking up a drink again. And, you know, they kept telling me, well, don't think of it like that. Oops. Think of it like, you know, just one day at a time. I couldn't conceptualize one day at a time.
yeah. One
You
day
know?
it can be really hard.
Yeah, it can.
So I'm sorry, her
I had all
comment.
that work for it to finally be possible.
Okay, sorry.
No, it was Michelle's comment. She says, realizing you cannot meditate at 1.5 speed. You get one breath in, one hold, and out, and you're hyperventilating.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny.
I can laugh without hurting my mouth today. Isn't that good?
Oh, that is good.
Oh, that's amazing.
When it was, okay? I kind of, I'm not collapsed. I had to put in all that work for it to finally be possible when it was. I'm crying, folks. I'm passionate about this, but I'm not crying. The wind is blowing. The wind is blowing so it's making my eyes water. But anyway, let's just say, I like to look at it like very logically, math-based, okay? Let's just say I'm gonna take, because I believe that like you're reprogramming your brain. When you're addicted to something, I think a big part of like getting sober, getting off of it, besides physical, is also the mental. So like I think we have to reprogram our brains to not like prompt us as much, feel like we have to have that drink, you know? For I don't know how many years ever got drunk. So my brain, like every night we get drunk. So it took a while for me to program my brain to say, oh, we don't drink all the time. Maybe we don't have to drink all the time. Oh, we're not even drinking that much. Eventually got to the point where like now there's no prompting to drink because I've reprogrammed my mind. Now, let's just say it took 600 me not drinking to get my mind to a place where it was like, oh, we don't really need to do this drinking thing, right? And those 600 days don't have to be 600 days straight. You know, I like to look at it this way. Say every time I didn't drink, whether it was one day or 2 days or 1 week or 2 weeks, a month, every day added to that 600, you know? So maybe
That, I love that. You don't necessarily
Yes.
get that in the rooms of AA. It's like, oh, you've relapsed. It's like you're starting all the way over. But he's totally incorporating it into his recovery. One day is one day. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
one day you're not destroying your body. You're not, you're not hurting your brain.
Right.
You're not doing all the things, and it's one day to gain some perspective, whatever that is. That is, I just love this.
He's good.
Yeah.
maybe I needed total 600 days before I could get to a place sobriety was possible. Total sobriety was possible. And every time I didn't drink, it added to that day. If you look at it that way, then you realize that every time you don't drink a win. If I don't drink 3 days today, that takes 3 days off that 600. Now I'm down to 597. If I don't drink for a month, that takes 30 days off. Now I'm down to 567. You know what I mean? If we look at it that way, if we look at it as like every time we don't take a drink, we're taking some of the time to take us to eventually sober, then it's not like, oh, I'm a failure. I can't stay sober. Every relapse is not starting over. A lot of times we look at every relapse as starting over, but it's like, no, every time you don't drink, you're growing. That's taking you a
Yes.
step closer to the day when it is possible. Okay? Like when it comes to sobriety, we don't think about it as a learning experience, as we have to reprogram our brain. We have to learn sobriety.
Yeah.
We look at it as, I want to be done, and like I should be able to just quit right now. Not realizing that like we're the ones who taught our body and our mind to want alcohol. We have to like teach it to want sobriety now.
Yeah.
And there's certain times like we haven't grown enough. Okay? I mean, when we were 5 years old, okay, we couldn't go out there and play basketball with the high school. We were too small. Had some growing to do. Fast forward 10 years later, you can go play with the high school kids, right? Because you're 15 now. You've grown. That's an analogy I think sometimes for our sobriety. It might take you 3-4 years of struggle to finally get sober, but that was 3-4 years of struggling and growth you had to go through. 4 years ago, you wasn't at the place you could do it. You hadn't learned enough. You hadn't grown enough in your sobriety journey. But sometimes, in sobriety, not just when it comes to addiction, but in all aspects of life, there are certain things we want to do, but we have to work towards them. We have to learn. We have to grow. We got to get the experience. We got to put the time in. You goals and dreams. At 5 years old, you was like, oh, I'm gonna be on the varsity squad on that high school team. But you gotta put in the work. You gotta take the steps. When it comes to sobriety, it's like we don't want to take the steps. For some reason we think, and I think it's because so many people talk about how they quit cold turkey, but no one ever tells you about the years before that they were too. That's why I don't like that term cold turkey. Because it makes you think, oh, I should just have the willpower, which is another term that I don't like, because there is no such thing as willpower. This is how I'll prove that real quick. Okay, if I don't have the willpower, how do I get willpower? Oh, you just have to dig deep. Well, if I don't naturally have that, how do I get that? You know what I mean? People can't define what willpower is, and they can't tell you how to get it, so I think it exists. You know, but so many people say, oh, you just need to have the willpower. You just need to quit cold turkey, you know? But that's not how it works.
No.
Might it work like that for some people? Maybe. But they may not be as addicted as you are. We got to think about that too. They don't have the same mental and physical makeup as you. They may not be drinking for the same reasons you were drinking. They may not have gone through the same trouble you went through. But for a lot of us, we just think, oh, one day I've decided I'm not going to drink. I should be able to be sober tomorrow forever. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. You got to learn sobriety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to mention, a lot of times we have to readjust and realign our actual life, our physical life to get sober. Because I know for me, so much of my life was drinking. Worked, and then I drank.
I did not know that I was moving to San Diego to get sober. That was not in the plan. But there is just no way in hell I could have ever gotten sober around here. You know, it was a very insular community back then, and everybody kind of knew everybody. And yeah. Anyway.
Well, and I think what people should try to keep in mind, what I try to keep in mind is the person that broke you can't be the one to fix you. So if you're in the same community that kind of broke you and got you there, you might need to get away from it in order to, get better. And then the other thing too that I wanted to say was that, however, when you're at the mountaintop and you slide down, however far down you've slid is how far you have to go to get back to the mountaintop. And chances are you didn't do it in one day. It took you a while to get to where you're at, whether that's with drinking or, drugs or an eating disorder. So you can't undo in 3 days or a month what it took you years to get to, and that's what I love about what he's saying is reprogramming your mind. That's such an important, I think people get fixated. I get fixated on a number on a scale, maybe other people get fixated on different things, but you have to reframe that and say, I didn't get here overnight and I'm not going to be fixed. I don't like that word, but overnight either. And give yourself that grace because it doesn't come that fast. I wish it did.
One of the things that kind of floats around AA is that a geographic is not a way to get sober. Well, sometimes it is. It was in my case.
Mine too.
Yeah. I had no thoughts that I even needed to quit. I had no thoughts that there was a reason to quit, even though my life was in shambles.
Right.
It's interesting the mental gymnastics you can do to stay in your addiction. You know?
Yeah. And how it can just pop up sometimes too. It's not just right after, because I'm almost 3 months in on alcohol and today was the first craving. But it was just because I was in a social setting. I was with a friend. She was talking about going for lunch and it's great. Well, how about we go to this place? It's no, because I could feel that craving, just knowing that alcohol was easily accessible.
Yeah.
And so I was just we'll finish coffee. That's what we'll do. We'll get a snack here.
Sometimes coffee houses have really great sandwiches. So,
Yes.
Totally restructure your life sometimes, folks, when you start getting sober. You're going to have to get new friends times. Like, you're not going to do that. Hey,
No.
it takes time to grow, to learn how to live a sober life. It's not impossible. It's very hard, but it's not impossible. And you might be right. Right now, it might not be the time. It might be impossible right now. It might not be the time right now. But the work that is possible now, staying sober today, staying sober this weekend, going to meetings if you do that, the work you put in now, the work that is now, is what's going to lead to total sobriety being possible in the future. But sometimes, like I said, I've been there. Sometimes the fact that we can't get totally sober right now makes us stop the work, stop the process. Years old, be like, wouldn't let me on the JV basketball team. I'm never in basketball again. That's your goal. That's your goal. That and beyond. You know, so you just put in the work until you get to a place where you can do that. I think that's just kind of not a message we really put out there about sobriety. I mean, I just think there's a lot of weird messaging around sobriety, which is why I really don't get too involved in the space. I do my little videos here, but anytime I try to delve a little deeper, I just get so mad about the messaging. This whole once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic is crazy to me, you know? Like there's nothing people try to quit other than like alcohol and substances. Well, just remember, like right when you're at your lowest and you're really trying to fight, people want to come along and say, oh, just remember, you're always going to have to deal with that. You're always going to have to deal with this. So come on, like why, even if that was true, why would you say it? There's just so much weird. That's just the one that really gets me. So much weird messaging around sobriety.
Yeah.
Now, what you do is you keep quitting until you finally quit. And that may take a while. It's hard. It won't be enjoyable, you know, but that is the price we pay for becoming addicted. You know, you get pity parties for me for the struggle I had to go through. I'm the one who turned myself into drunk. Didn't nobody make me drink. Now, if you were born addicted to a substance or something, whatever, you know, not judging anybody. But like, put ourselves in this position. 99% of us, no one forced us to take a drink. We started drinking and we kept drinking for whatever our reasons were. No judgment there, but just know the price we pay for behavior is a long, hard struggle back, but it's a winnable struggle. If we keep struggling, if we put in work, if we keep working the process, the day will come. It might be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, but the day will come when you're like, I think I got it this time. It'll like, and it's not, I know for me, like, it just clicked, you know, like it just clicked. I didn't do anything really different doing before, but it was just kind of like, all right, I got this time. And it just, I think I had just done the reps, put in the work to where finally my body kind of reprogrammed and it had learned sobriety. And it was, I think we can do it this time. Okay. And like I said, it's been 5+ years. Once again, just to review on.
Oops. Oh, come on.
Hey,
Once an
Rebecca.
alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Very rarely do I ever get any urges to drink these days. Close out. Just know that the urge you have now and fight you have to fight now, how hard it is, it will probably not always be that way. I've talked to no one to drink now after they've been sober for some years are as bad as they were on day 3 when they started their sobriety. It lessens over time.
Yes.
Because you're changing. You're growing in this thing called sobriety.
Yeah.
You know, the withdrawals go away. The mental longings go away. It's easier.
Yeah.
So please don't think that like, oh man, the struggle I'm having right now is going to be this hard for the rest of my life. That is utter hogwash. Don't believe that. And please don't believe that it's impossible to get sober. It might be impossible now. But if you keep putting in the work, it will be possible one day. I firmly believe that. I love each and every one of y'all. Please, in the comments below, let's talk about this. If you agree, if you disagree. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Lord, you know, some people that sage wisdom. I love that so much. And it's so encouraging.
Yes. And
It's so
yes.
encouraging. We all need it in our journey. We need encouragement. Hi, Debbie's here. And y'all were talking about AA not addressing dual diagnoses, and that, yeah, it's like that's not a thing, but it is. It was a thing with me. Yeah. That's why I got to where I was. I was trying to, you know, self, because I had an overwhelming mental illness cycle going that was just, I could not manage.
Yeah.
But drinking and doing drugs made it feel like I was managing somehow. I wasn't. It was all a delusion. But yeah. Well,
and the way that he had put it as well, and I think Ben just brought up the term reps. It's like an exercise. You need to exercise that muscle, right? You need to be able to grow strength in it, which, like I was saying earlier, and then he said it almost immediately after. And it's like, I didn't think about that. I haven't exercised the social muscle yet. I haven't thought about social settings. I've been rather focused on other things. It's the first time in a while I've decided to be social. So that makes sense. I haven't thought about it that way.
Yeah. The importance of reps. One of my friends was in the FBI behavioral unit a while ago, and he always stresses the importance of reps. Yeah. Retraining your brain, retraining it, you know, redigging those pathways and, you know, redirecting. It takes repetition, and it does take time with repetition.
Yes.
And some of the best advice I got now, it was dealing with, you know, someone difficult, you know, but the best advice I ever got for dealing with a situation was, you know, have a pat answer that is factual, true, and cannot be argued. And that can be whether you're dealing with someone that's difficult, or it can even be something that you say to yourself, you know. For example, I'm able to not drink. I do not need a drink, you know, while I'm out and, you know, I am working on my sobriety or whatever that would work. It doesn't have to be an answer that you give somebody out loud, but it can be something that you say to yourself. And I think that's part of those reps too, like just saying that in your head, setting an intention before you go in. You know, I'm big on intention, because if you determine in yourself for yourself, it helps you to kind of stay the course, you know. So if you're like, my intention is I'm going to go have, let's use Stasia. I'm going to go have coffee with my friend. I'll have a sandwich at the little coffee shop, but I'm not doing anything more than that. And I'm not explaining where I'm at right now. This is just what I'm doing. Then that you've already kind of set your mind to it. Your body's geared up toward that. Your energy is geared toward that. And so that might be something that's helpful too. Just setting an intention for yourself. Doesn't even have to be anything you verbalize to somebody. It's not like you go in and go, hey, Stasia, we are only doing coffee. I am only getting a sandwich, and then you're going to have to bugger off because I just don't know that I could do any more than that today. Like, you don't have to say it that way, but you can say it, and then you've already kind of like geared yourself up for it. I'm really big on internal tapes and like the things that you say to yourself and the things that you think, because that too reprograms your brain, and it changes your focus and how you see things. And I think that's important too, you know.
Seeing all the ones for Tommy, I'm unsure what happened exactly.
He's in the hospital. He did a quick video. He's in the hospital. his heart rate is too fast, so they're going to try some different medicine.
Okay. Okay.
So,
You know,
Yeah.
that whole thing, building on what you were saying, Christy, you know, it's all like, if it's nothing more than, today I am choosing not to drink, just for
mhm.
today. It's a
Yeah.
slogan in AA, and it's a good one. Just for
Mhm.
today, I'm going not to drink. I don't know about tomorrow, but for today, yeah.
Right. Right. And one thing that
Exactly.
I had to really learn, Lene, hello. One thing that I had to really learn and work on for myself was not explaining. I don't owe anybody an explanation. There are very few people that deserve an explanation from me. Um, I don't even explain
That's
everything to my kids, you know. Now my husband, different story, but I also just know it's an answer, it's a statement, it's a complete sentence. You don't have to explain it to you. That was something that took a long time for me to learn. And but it was something that I set an intention to work on. Um, and so I think there's a lot of things internally you can start saying to yourself, whether, like you said, you're dealing with an eating disorder or shopping or, drugs and alcohol. Those things, what you say, internal tapes, really are so important, because if you go in and you think, I'm not worthy, I'm not, I'm just not good at this, I can't do this, I don't know how to do this, then what's to stop you from doing it? But if you go in
Mhm.
and you're like, you know what, I got this, it's lunch, I can do this, is what I always say to myself too, you know what, I can do 2 hours, I can go 2 hours. And for me, that helps me, when I break it down, instead of like 24 hours, oh my goodness, we're going to go out. No, you know what? I can do 2 hours. I can do 45 minutes. That's how my brain works to break it down. I have to, if it is too big picture for me, man, I go psycho
yeah,
fast.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have
yeah,
to break it down,
yeah,
Yeah.
really
yeah,
break it down.
yeah,
Bite-sized pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like half of a fun size candy bar pieces. It's, you know,
Half a bite.
yeah, yeah. But you know, Ben says it's a hard skill to develop, but you can always start small and build that muscle. Yes.
yeah.
DK
Yeah.
says, for an example, at the Greek restaurant, I only get lemon soup while everyone else gets huge meals. My daughter-in-law immediately tells the server that's all she wants. Yeah, and you know what? Truthfully, people who love and respect you are gonna love and respect your boundaries, and they're gonna see where you're at. I mean, and that's a great example.
Yeah.
Um, you know. Oh no, Anik, you didn't disrupt anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad you let us know. Thank you. No, for real.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
letting us know.
I would have seen it
Yeah.
days later and been like, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
Right.
Hi, Chris, Lord Kiss Freak.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, you mean it's late, but
Yeah.
whatever. You're here. That's all that matters.
Right. You know what? I read something. Um, I don't know if it was on Facebook. It had to have been on like Facebook or YouTube or something. But and it was dealing with sobriety, and it said that um, you know, being late to a meeting meant that you almost didn't come, but that you chose to show up because you put yourself in an important space, and so that's to be celebrated because you almost chose not to put yourself first. And I thought, well, that's really amazing. Now, if I'm ever late, it's just because, like the dogs ran off, the shitty kitty was kung fu fighting, but I loved that perspective of it was like you almost chose to not make this a priority. So it doesn't matter if you show up 15 minutes before the deal is over late. You're here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I like,
I like that mentality.
yeah, you did.
You know, I want to acknowledge a Rolling Stone. My urge to drink spiked a couple of times, but it's just, I thought I let go of and keep moving on. I thought I let go of and keep moving on. It's my disease trying to get me back. good luck. Life is so much better now in just these few weeks. I love that. I'm so happy for you,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
That's amazing. And
It
that,
is. No, it really is.
and that's that's a, a good tool that you're starting to develop on how to manage that. And, starting to
Yeah.
develop that tool and manage it now is just going to make it easier as you go on because it's going to be muscle memory, you know. Um, it's amazing what we can train our minds and our bodies to do, really.
Mhm.
When you look at some of the amazing things people can do,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Even just stress
Yeah.
levels, just reminding myself I am okay, I am here, I am alive. Now it was so frequent in the beginning, and now it's just like, okay, I'm okay.
Right. Right. Or,
Yeah.
like my favorite thing is when someone's like, oh, I was all stressed out and then I did my box breathing. Like, that's why we do it, like so that you have a tool to manage. It's a tool. And and then okay, well, it works for me in the meeting. Why wouldn't it work for me, when my husband pushes my buttons or I'm in a coffee shop or, me just looking at my shitty kitty kung fu fighting everything, okay, breathe. But like Shell learned, don't do it at 1.5 times the speed unless you're
That was so amazing.
that. When I seen it, I was like, okay, yeah, catch up. Could have been like, no, 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 wait.
Next time we know to pre-warn. Slow down the video.
You know,
Right,
and
right.
I was just thinking about you not putting yourself in a certain social situation where knew you would be tempted to drink. Eventually,
Yeah.
you'll be able to,
Yeah. And I think
But
if I look at it as the muscle, it helps. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was just going to say, you know, certain places in certain situations, it's just going to be habit to pick it up, and you might even do it without even thinking. And here we are.
Yeah.
So,
And that was one of my concerns because it's more like a resto pub that she
yeah,
wanted to go to. So it's like, I'm going to see all the beers on tap. I'm going to see all of the hard liquor bottles on the wall. And everybody
yeah,
else around me is going to have a drink. And like somebody here had been like, just have a mocktail. I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I do. But I'm not in that place yet. I need to just stay at the cafe. I need to just, have a snack there. That is how it needs to be today. Today is not the day for me to go to a resto pub.
Right. Well, and and again, that's being in your wise mind, knowing where you're at, being self-aware, all of these things that, we talk about all the time and what it looks like. And, when we first started talking about wise mind, everybody's like, what is she talking? But now when any one of us say wise mind, we're like, oh yeah, right. We know what wise mind is,
Yes.
So, and again, it's just that building of things, using it over and over, being in a group where people know and understand what it is. And it helps that it is a form of therapy, because it's not like just some random stuff that somebody made up and pulled out of the sky. It is proven therapy.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
that helps too,
yeah.
So you can be like, well, therapy doesn't work for me. But if being in your wise mind and breathing and does help, then maybe that kind of opens the door in a different way for you,
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That kind
you
of
know,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, because it's really intimidating when you walk into a psychiatrist's office and you sit down and they're like, tell me about your mother. And you're like, who's got time for that nonsense in their life, But
It's like, but we only have 1 hour.
like, wait a minute, hold on, let me check my bank account. I'll give you all my money right now. Hold on. But but if you introduce it little by little and you kind of grasp different core concepts, then you can build on those. And then it's not so scary, So if someone's like, well, do you do any therapy? You can be like, actually, I do, without
Yeah.
knowing that you do.
It's
So
just a piece of your toolbox.
exactly.
I like to envision a little toolbox in my brain.
Nice. I love it. I know it sounds crazy, a Rolling Stone says, but when my ants come along, I literally picture giant red ants looming over me and smash them with a giant hammer. It's remarkably effective.
There you go.
And then later on she says, I swear it works. And that is brilliant.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant.
And that's amazing because like maybe you knew this before you got to this point in your sobriety journey, but maybe that's just something that you learned about yourself is, hey, I'm a very visual person. So if you know you're a visual person, then you can use that to your benefit down the road when it comes to addressing these difficult things. You can say, I know I can visualize, so I'm going to visualize this outcome. And then, there you go. And everybody has different ways of how they handle that. Some people talk your ear off and send you 20-minute voice clips. and, and some people visualize ants and a hammer. And, and some people go and touch things, but it's finding out who you are and how you handle it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
So,
And thank you, Henny. Sorry, I want to make sure I say thank you before I forgot.
Yes.
I'm trying to I'm trying to remind myself I'm proud of myself for the choices I've made this weekend, canceling a friend driving 5.5 hours to me, and then somebody else just kind of being like, can we just stay here? And like not really giving an explanation, just kind of being like, I just need to stay here. So I need to remember the proud moments instead of the moments like, oh, but I did that. And I had to do that. That's the negative. That's the ants coming in, right? So trying to reframe everything has been rather helpful.
Way. And one thing to do would be gratitude journals. You don't have to just have one journal that's for like all of the crazy muckety muck. You can have a gratitude journal. And then this would be an example, an amazing example, Stasia, of writing in your gratitude journal. I am thankful that I realized, I'm thankful that I'm self-aware enough that I realized that this meeting up with this person was not going to be beneficial for my mental health and my sobriety. And then bullet point 2 would be, I'm grateful that I was able to reframe the situation so that I stayed at the coffee shop and didn't go on. And then when you need those positive times, it's not like you're searching through your journal of ickiness trying to find them. Go to your gratitude journal and just start reading. Like just start reading the things that you're thankful for, the positive choices you've made, and make an entry every day. You make an entry into your like muckety muck journal. Make an entry into your gratitude journal. Today, I'm thankful I made needing a meeting and I made a positive comment that made everybody laugh. So you know what that means? On today, you were funny. So you're a funny person, like, and that in those moments when you're bad, you're not, going back through like, what day was it I made that? You just reread your gratitude journal.
I never thought about that. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really cool thing. Write down things that you've asked for that got answered, so like however you ask for things from universe, manifest, prayer, whatever that looks like, even when those things get answered, what did that look like? Like Carol, for example, one of yours could be, I finally got the tooth taken care of, in big bold letters with hearts all around it, like that's an answer to something, so I mean there's a lot of different ways it can look, and Rebecca, yours could be like, today I went into my happy space and I touched all my fabric. Because I know that you said you wanted to touch your fabric.
I was rubbing on it.
Yeah, because you weren't doing it in a store. You already had it, so you just went and touched your fabric.
Oh wow, mini store.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is my fabric. And what's kind of funny is I'm super fatigued right now, and so thank you for everyone who's kind of made me smile, and I'm so glad people are doing good. I did a lot to get my sewing space in a better place so I can use it, but I'm so fatigued. I almost didn't come, and then I'm like, and I was kind of feeling a little bad. I'm like, I'm gonna order pizza. I haven't ordered pizza in months, and normally I wouldn't because it's not low carb.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get a pizza with some vegetables, and it's gonna magically arrive at my door, and then I'm gonna watch a movie, and I'm not gonna do anything else this evening.
Perfect.
Nice. That sounds
Really
like a
tired.
great evening. Yeah.
But I did a lot of my bedroom closet is now has all my clothes in it. My clothes, I moved into this apartment 4 months ago. Up to this point, all my hanging clothes were in the coat closet at the front. Because the bedroom closet, which is really big, was all sewing stuff. Well, I pulled out last weekend all the stuff that was on the clothes, well, most of the stuff that was on the clothes side. Now everything is out of the kind of dresser space I had, and that's now in hanging shelves, and all my clothes are in there, and
That's
That
awesome.
feels good. I
organized.
know that feels good.
And
Yes.
the bedroom floor isn't covered with stuff all over that I had pulled out of the closet and didn't know what to do with it, so it ended up all over the floor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I did do a lot of I didn't sew, but I did cut some fabric, and I did fondle some fabric today.
Perfect.
But I'm a little quiet. It's
Not
not
fondle other
anybody.
people.
I'm What did you say, Carol? Or, Carol? Christy.
Christy. Yeah.
Fondle your fabric because it belongs to you. Just don't go fondle other people's fabric.
Somebody's walking down the road. Rebecca's like, "Ooh."
No, I do. I like going into fabric stores and like touching the fabric. And I'm like, I got to make sure my hands are clean.
Yeah.
It just seems rude to like, not like, let me touch everybody's fabric because I'm not taking it home. There's
That's
something about beautiful fabric that just,
I wanna highlight these pinned messages. Seventh Son says, Stone, I imagine the Raid spray can causing the ants exploding just like the commercials. I can totally see it.
I'd like
And
that.
and Henny says you should be so proud of yourself. So wonderful. Rolling Stone says about 12 years ago, I quit drinking and did 4 months of outpatient therapy at a wonderful mental hospital, which tragically doesn't exist anymore. I gained a lot of coping skills, and they're all coming back. And
Good.
just like also Rolling Stone says, just like the video dude said, I'm not starting from zero. That's right. But was a lot farther gone this time. But my kid is out of the army, so not deployed in Iraq or Afghanistan anymore, and that helps a lot. Well, whatever helps,
Yeah.
it all counts.
Yeah.
There's in this book that I read, it's called Personal Power Through Awareness. There's a few little things I wanted to read because I thought it was good. You are not at the mercy of hidden drives or unknown programs. You have the ability to look inward to find answers. As you focus on what is good about people or yourself, enable them or yourself to achieve it. Be aware of the images you are creating of yourself when you speak to others. That goes to those internal tapes. And I just thought that those were kind of beautiful. And here's one more. Never do anything that is not in some way an attempt to bring more light into your life. So I think that goes to, our mental thoughts and being, mindful and purposeful in what we say and how we look at things. I think it's all really important,
Mhm.
you know?
I'll
Yeah.
have to put this photo I found on I think it was on Facebook or Instagram, one of the two, and it said that hate is a 4-letter word and so is love. And it gave
Yep.
all of the opposites of one another, and it's been helping me so
Yeah.
much. Like when I'm just like, oh, I hate this, but then okay, but what do I love? And then it
Yeah.
just kind of makes me stop and think. So I keep the photo on my phone in its own little separate folder with all the motivational stuff.
Yeah.
And then that way I can go back to it when I need it.
Right. That's a great idea.
That is a good
Mm.
idea.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'll put it up in the Facebook group. I actually really like it a lot.
That'd be
It's one of my
great.
go-tos right
Nice.
now.
Yay.
Anik,
Well,
are you doing okay, Anik? I just see
yeah,
your
I mean,
comment.
is there anything that we can do? Anything,
Yeah.
any way of, anyway.
Assisting, yeah.
Yeah. Debbie's hero. I love that. Yeah, I do too.
Like negativity, the opposite is positivity. It has the same letters. It's really fun how they word it in the image. It's that way it makes me stop and think, and it makes me reframe things immediately instead of going, I'm going to reframe this when I have a second. I don't have the bandwidth right now. It's just like, no, okay, I have the bandwidth. I'm just being lazy if I'm not going to turn around and reframe this.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, it could be
And
not lazy. It could be just a lot of fatigue, and today's
Yeah.
just one of those days. And tomorrow you will reframe it.
I like the way that you said that. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's my ants right there. It's just like immediately I'm sure that we all do it. I call myself lazy or whatever it might be, right? And just immediately go to, oh, come on, you can do better.
yeah, I mean it I think the thing that I've learned the most is things, reframing and doing things with intention. Just putting intention behind everything I do has helped me so much. Um,
Can you
because
explain that a little bit more, the intention part, if you don't mind?
yeah, so if you if you don't have any intention with what you're doing, like let's say that you go into the grocery store and you have, oh, wait, here. What's all I see is I have something important to say.
Henny says, I hope this comes out right. Ants are our thoughts, negative and sometime all encompassing, and we listen to them. But our authentic self is our protector and guider. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's true. That's true.
And we often tell it to be quiet when we should be listening to that voice. Yeah.
Yep.
Or we're
Yeah,
just ignoring it altogether.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, I just seen I had something important to say, and what I had to say was it could wait. So if you go in with no intention, say that you walk into the grocery store and you're just like, oh, I need to get a few little things. And then you just start putting stuff into your basket. And then you get into line and you've spent $150 and you have no food, really. I mean, you've got food, but let's say you've got flowers and then you've got mushroom coffee and then this ridiculous coffee creamer and like a little bag of chips or something like that, but you've got nothing worthwhile. Like you just didn't go in with any intention. You come out, you've spent your money, but you don't have anything that's going to sustain you through the week, right?
Yes.
Now, going in with intention is saying, okay, I have $150. I need to get groceries that's going to last me a week. And I need to make sure that it's going to be healthy and Mediterranean diet and good for me. And I'm looking for stuff that's on sale. When you go in with that intention, then your mind automatically starts looking for those things. And
Okay.
then you come out with $150 worth of stuff that's good. It's kind of like when you buy a new car and you see a yellow car, like you have a yellow car, then you start seeing all these other yellow cars that you never seen before because your body is focusing on that. So it's the same thing with intention. If you just set it in your mind that, okay, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to get these things. Michael called me last night. He's like, I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to get this, and this. He was in and out in 10 minutes. He's never been in and out of Walmart in 10 minutes in his whole life, but he went in with an intention. And so that's the difference is saying, okay, and you did it earlier today when you said, I'm just going to stay at this coffee shop. You had set your intention without even knowing it. But
Yeah.
it's a very mindful, present act of I'm going to do this. Like, have you ever ran into the store? You're like, I just have to run in and get this one thing. You run in, you get the thing, you leave.
Yeah.
It's because
Yeah.
you set your intention. But if you don't set your intention and you're like, oh, I need Q-tips, and then you go get everything but Q-tips, right? I mean, we've all
Mhm.
done that. And that's because you didn't set the intention firmly about the Q-tips.
Okay.
So that's kind of, that's kind of how it is. And it applies to everything from grocery shopping to using it in your sobriety journey as, my intention is I'm going to go have lunch with a friend. I'm not going to explain because this person doesn't need an explanation. I don't have to tell the waiter and my friend and the people behind me and in front of me and over 3 tables why I'm not having a cocktail. The answer is just no. And we're just going to stay here. And then I'm going to leave when it's done. That too is setting an intention. So,
Okay. So I did it. I just didn't understand I was doing it.
Right on.
yes,
Nice.
yeah,
I was like, I
yeah.
can be mindful of the intention now.
Exactly. And then you were practicing reframing as well, reframing how you've seen it. And that's a really important thing. Again, it kind of gets you out of one of those other 2 minds. And one thing in DBT too is, we have emotional mind, reasonable mind, and wise mind, but there's also the addicted mind, the clear mind, and then I forget what the other one is, but there's that kind of mind too. So,
Okay.
if you're in your addiction mind, it's like being in your emotional mind. You're not making good choices, right?
Mhm.
Same thing with the other one, it's in this other mind. It's not, you know, but
Yeah.
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 So it goes to, it's not just emotional, rational, and wise, although that's the most commonly used.
I'll
So,
have to take a look into all of them because I'm very curious. But
yeah.
it's just the more information I seem to get, the more that I'm getting, I'm just practicing it and not really noticing that I'm practicing it, which is really, really cool because my intention is to just be the best person I can be now that, how do I put this kindly, but without like with being free, essentially. That's the best way I can feel it is and say it is by being free. I'm not
Right.
wanting to do all of these things like I'll use or drink or smoke pot the way that I did when I was there. So just I'm I'm not noticing that I'm using them or like even that I'm taking in the information, but I'm clearly taking in the information. So that's kind of
Well,
cool to see.
and you set your intention. I want to be the best person I can be.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was your intention. And
Yeah.
so, where your intention is where your energy goes. If your
Yeah.
intention is, I want to be the best person I can be, your body is going to start soaking up all of the energy that is in line with that.
Mhm.
If your intention was, I want to go out and see how many banks I can rob before I get caught. Well,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
not so good either. You know what I mean? So it's but again, it's like when you make that positive intention in your mind, even if you don't consciously know, oh, that's an intention, if you just, this is who I want to be, you're going to notice that your path starts going in that direction, your decisions start going in that direction, you start being around people that are that type of thing, and then
Yeah.
you start learning, you know
And if I may,
and
I'd like to,
everybody has something to offer.
yeah, I was going to say, I'd like to add on the intention only because I've done a little bit of this in my past and I've not practiced what I'm about to preach very well. But the goal is this year is a new year. Um,
Mhm.
was on intention was you can set intentions for like your year. What do you
Mhm.
want this year to be?
Yeah.
And you don't, when you phrase the intention, you phrase it in not in a negative way, but a positive. So it's not that I'm not going to have sugar this year. It's going, I'm phrasing it as I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to nurture my body. I'm going to give myself food that makes me feel good and helps my brain and helps me heal and kind of, and maybe not not make it that long, and but create kind of the intention for my year, and then and the goal is not to create more than 3 of those for
Mhm.
a year, and then you
Okay.
post it. So tape it to my bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
That my intention, and then one of my intentions for this year is I'm going to complete 12 quilts.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be really easy because I have 7 quilt tops that just need to have stuff done to them to start with. So I've got half the year. I don't think I'm making a really big, so I don't feel like I'm making it too much, but it's making it something positive
Mhm.
Gotcha.
for you, and then something that, but not framed in a negative way. And then the whole posting it on the mirror is so that every morning when you get up and every night and during the day, and for me, it's the bathroom mirror because that's where you go. And then in front of you when you wash your hands kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
That's because then you repeat it and you could post it, like for me in my planner, or just because
Somewhere where you are looking constantly or every day or multiple times a day.
it kind of reiterating whatever you really want to be. And you can think about the small things like the grocery store is excellent because I've not done that. And then you bring home all the stuff that you don't need that isn't good for you. So going in with a list and say, I'm only getting what's on this list. And if I buy anything that's
done
not on
that.
this list, it's got to meet my healthy food intention for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be part of this. But I just wanted to add in case that maybe helps.
Oh, it does, because one of my goals is, and like, I'm not trying to put it as like a New Year's resolution, as Christy said before. It's I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes. So, and I was just like, the way that I was saying it in my head when I first said it was, I'm not going to smoke this year. But just by changing the one word, by saying I'm going to quit cigarettes, that might be more helpful to be, because my mind doesn't like to work in the negative, because if it works in the negative, everything becomes negative. So it makes a ton of sense. Thank you.
Well, and you could even be detailed in case that's not detailed enough, that I'm going to taper down. Maybe it could be I'm tapering down my smoking so that I can go completely off
Yeah.
by December 1st or something, and kind of setting that so that you figure out kind of how you're going to get that intention.
Yes.
Figuring it out to make it a little bit more detailed.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
too detailed, of course, because you don't want it to be something you can't like go through in your head every day. But
Right.
you got this. You got this.
Thank you.
Ben says I'm going to be free from cigarettes by the end of the year.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Excellent.
And
We love you too, Anit.
Yes, we do. I love you too. Please take care.
What do you think? Box breathing or meditation
Whatever
again?
you guys want to do, you let me know. I don't care either way.
I'm still feeling pretty good from that meditation, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was like an immediate mood shift for me, which was really cool, actually. Because
Right
it was
on.
like having this, oh, you could have gone and done this today, but then it was like, but you know what? I did a good job. I did a good job. So that was helpful. Maybe some box breathing.
Yeah, we can do that. So if all we're gonna do is box breathing, let's do like 6 really good box breaths. And when you breathe in, I want you to really now I'm not gonna be able to breathe in as deep with you guys because it'll make me cough. But I want you to really just breathe in, just try to breathe in all the way down to your belly and then hold it. And then when you let it out, just like
Okay.
really, really let it out. Let your
I
shoulders
can't do
drop.
that too forcefully with this yet.
Yeah. Those that can do it that way. Those that can't, do what you can do what feels comfortable. But it really kind of helps ground it. And just focus on your breath this time when we're doing it. Instead of saying a mantra or, positive, negative, just focus on the just your breathing and what that feels like in your body.
Okay.
So, all right, go ahead. We're going to shake it out again and get loose because it's always good to get a little loose before you breathe. And we're still going to drop into our heart space, whether that is putting your hand on your heart or imagining a little version of yourself going into your actual heart space. So we're going to do 6 of these deep breathing exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. Again, breathe in, hold, and exhale. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. This is the last one. Make it a really good one. Breathe in, hold, and exhale. Go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. And I forgot how to count. We did 5 instead of 6, so I guess 5 is the magic number. And numerology 5.
My dog's out here pacing, so that's kind of why I started getting a little antsy.
Fair, fair. And Ben, I love that comment. That is going to be a great intention. He says, here's a great intention for you. I will remember, Tommy, that Corey Friedman is coming back, King.
Come back king, yeah.
Corey Feldman.
That's
I'm gonna
all
say
right, you guys
sports.
have a good
Good night. Good night, everybody. Love you.
Yes.
Love
Good
you
night.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, you guys. It's been an awesome meeting. And yeah, love you guys. Hope to see you next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all. Good night. One with Cat Shell. Good night, everybody.